What's up guys, Tim Little. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today's video got an evening out on the water. Gonna do some hot summertime bass fishing. I got buzz baits and frogs and flipping and punching setups, so should be a good one. Let's go. All right guys, so what we got here, summertime, middle of August, scorching hot, mid 90s, water temps, high 80s, but we had some really bad storms the last couple days. And so we're on the Tennessee River and they are dumping a lot of current. You can see all this stuff floating by, these big chunks of grass. See this mud line? They are pulling a ton of current and it's basically turned a somewhat clear river into mud. So we're gonna see what we can do with this. Maybe have to audible what I have tied on, but yeah, they have the water really low too. It's interesting. So basically starting here where the mud meets the somewhat clear water, kind of stained. Little channel right here to a backwater. You can see the current is going in, so it's filling up. But a lot of times when they drop water, all the fish will pull out and sit right at the openings. Bait fish running over there. So I started with a little big bite bait. This is the suicide buzz. It's a little single blade buzz bait with a swim bait on the back. Again, in these conditions, probably want a big double buzz. As much commotion as possible to get their attention in this stained, muddy water. Thanks, dude. Thanks, dude. Guys, so what I'm doing, basically this water dropped, it's down like 3 feet, so it's basically brought all of this offshore grass. We're sitting in like, we're in 5 foot now, which is normally 8 foot, so it's topped out all these little isolated grass patches. So I'm just taking this swammer with a flashy swimmer and just swimming it around. I threw a frog a ton, I threw a buzzbait. They don't really want to come up to the surface. So now I'm just kind of choosing my lanes. I'm making real precise casts and bringing the swim bait next to that stuff as close as possible. Every once in a while giving it a real twitch, you know, change that cadence, get that blade to blow out. But got a few. Dang it, that was a good one. All right, I'll retie with a nice new fresh leader. Super important, guys, to put new leaders on each time. Not sure why that one broke off, but didn't want to take another chance. So new leader. Oh, that's what we're talking about. And that's why you retie right there, guys. Big one. Look at the shoulders on this guy. That's what it's all about. That's why you brave the heat. Got it. Got that thing. Super nice one. Thanks, dude. As you guys can see, I remember my net this time. So like I said earlier, we got some weird conditions. Lake levels 3 feet low. River's ripping, but with logs and debris and grass and mud. So I'm trying to find stained water. Here I have about a foot to 18 inches of visibility and tried everything on surface. I'm sure this evening I can target these isolated grass patches. But again, I'm just throwing this thing over and around the grass. Now this is a 1/4 ounce 5/0 flashy swimmer. What's neat about this one, it's not super heavy. It's only a 1/4 ounce. So I can bring it up and over the grass patches and then let it fall. And I can literally see it swimming down. That swammer's kicking down and that blade is spinning. And I've had a couple bites doing that, but nice kicker right there. Count it. Jumbo. Look at this, guys. So guys, quick tip. You know, I'm fishing in anywhere from 2 to 6 foot of water. It's super important, especially this time of the year. Pressured fish, shallow fish. I have all my units on standby. The only one that I actually have on is my map up there. That way, in case it gets windy or something later, I can mark some of the good grass patches. But I have all of my sonars turned off. All the sonar pinging, my 2D, down imaging, side imaging, forward facing, all of that, no go. I want to be as stealthy and as quiet as possible. Again, these fish are in 3 foot less water than they're used to, and a lot of time that wigs those fish out. But caught some nice ones. Got that one really nice one. We're gonna make another pass through here and see if we can expand on this pattern. But basically, you know, those little islands, right? Islands of grass, picking the lanes and throwing this underspin through there. I'm sure you can go through there and flip. I might do that. Maybe throw a power shot or something, but these fish are related to these grass patches and they're coming out. And once that bait drops by it, they're eating it. So pretty cool. Let's see if we can get some more good ones. Thanks, dude. That guy showed himself in the grass. He blew up on something. So just like you would do with a frog and fire in there, I threw this underspin in there and just let it fall. And again, like I talked about earlier, it's swimming down, dunk. Luckily it wasn't in too thick of grass, because I don't know, this 754 would get him out, but not sure my leader would hold up. Thank you, sir. Thanks, dude. So guys, I'm gonna cut out probably about, I don't know, I'll say 75 to 100 casts in between, but you can see it's gotten cloudy now, got a storm rolling in, and that makes it tougher for 2 reasons. One, it makes it hard to see the lanes where it's easy to see the topped out grass, but the grass that's just, you know, 6-8 inches under the surface, it's hard to pick your longer casts, right? We want to be stealthy, we want to be sneaky. If you can make long casts when you can see those lanes, that's awesome. But when that sun goes away, it's really hard to see. And then also, when the sun's out, those fish are right there on the grass. When it gets overcast and cloudy, these fish just scatter. So they're spread out more. So it's harder to, it's easier to cover water. You're just chucking and winding, trying to find roaming fish. But when they're isolated on those, isolated pieces of grass, it's a lot easier. So one other tip to you guys, as you're fishing slowly through an area, I say slowly, make sure you have your trolling motor. I got that Quest turned down to like 2.5 or 3, just low enough or just high enough that I can move slowly. I don't want to be too loud. Again, it's all about being stealthy. And then also pay attention as I'm fishing. I'm looking for bait fish fleeing. I'm looking for little blow-ups. I'm looking for big blow-ups. I'm looking for activity. That way, when I do get to that area, already in my mind, I know I need to pick that area apart. But make sure you're scanning as you're fishing. Those are just a couple tips that really help me in shallow, finicky fish. You know, shallow water with finicky fish. So let's keep going. All right, guys, give up on the underspin for a little bit. I feel like that's a pattern we can build on. Let's go see if we can catch one on a frog. The wind has picked up, so it's blowing a lot of this eelgrass and a lot of this debris that's coming down lake into the area that I'm fishing. It's muddying it up, it's murkying it up, and then we're getting a lot of surface broken grass. So it's a really pain to try and cast your baits through all of this. Just so much dead grass or broken grass on the surface. So we're gonna go find an area that's protected from the wind, that doesn't have a lot of that debris, and see if we can get some frog bites. All right, that was my goal, to catch one on a frog. Got that flapping frog down in the face. Thank you, sir. Not a giant, but anytime you can get them on a frog, it's my kind of fishing. Thanks, dude. 10 pounds of lettuce. So guys, I'm throwing this flapping frog, Spro flapping frog. It's basically a weedless buzzbait. It floats. It's got two little kicker feet on it. Sounds a lot like a whopper plopper. Super durable. The one thing with this frog is, normally on a popping frog or a traditional frog, as soon as they eat it, I hit them hard. This one, I keep my rod tip up to keep the line off of the water. I don't want the fish seeing the line first. I just want the bait. So when they eat it, I actually drop my rod tip, give them a second, and then jack them. And it's significantly increased my my hookup ratio. But this is a cool little frog. Again, I picked up this frog because I can cover water with it. Trying to figure out where these fish are at. Found an area that's out of the wind. Got a lot of eelgrass, dead eelgrass on the surface. It's just, you can cover a lot more water chucking and winding than you can popping a frog or walking a frog. So I'm just trying to find, put these puzzle pieces together, find where these fish are at. Right now, it seems like they are in the clear water. A little bit muddier out here and deeper, come in shallow around the grass and it's clear. All of my fish on the underspin were the same thing. As soon as I got close to that muddy, murky water, I never got bit. Got back in that clear water, and that's where I got all my bites. So again, just covering water. If I do start missing fish on this, I will pick up a bait that I could flip with or punch with, or a slow walking frog. But again, if you're a guy that likes to cover water and you fish a lot of grass, having a toad style bait or this flapping frog is a great frog to have. Basically, it's a weedless buzzbait. Being able to cover a ton of water, figure out where those fish and what those fish are relating to. All right, guys, I ran around quite a bit. Can only seem to get bit in that clear water. So I made a long run, checking some backs of pockets, and got a bunch of dead grass here, but it's definitely clear. So we're gonna try here. But, oh, they're schooling out behind me. Hey, the long run for you, dude. Thanks, bud. Well, the clear water deal's a thing. Find some bigger ones. Those are gonna be all largemouth too. Oh, got that one. First one's like a 4-pounder. Ooh, they're schooled up everywhere. Come on. Come on. Thanks, dude. It's really important when they're schooled up like this, you stay back and make long casts. That first one I just missed was like a 4-pounder. Got one like 2.5. But there's a whole school back here. No, really? All right, I'm gonna hurt you. Really? That's a little guy. I feel like I stuck the first 2 big ones. Micro. That's a good one. That's the one I want. Got you that time. Come on, dude. Five pounds of grass. Got it. Go out. Thank you. Finally got a decent one. There's a lot of micros in here, but lots and lots of bait. Oh, missed him. Froggy. Thanks, dude. All right, guys, that was a pretty cool run. The last probably 45 minutes. Felt like I had 45 blow-ups and hooked like 2.5. No, but it's all seriousness. The first two that I hooked when I made those bomber casts, one ate as soon as the frog hit the water. The other one ate it when I was walking, and I hit them hard and they just came off, but they were 4+ pounders. Lots of little guys in here. I could see them swimming around the boat. They're all about 10 to 12 inches, which is why I was missing a lot of those blow-ups. But it's a hot one today. So again, I'm glad that I ran down here and found this. You know, when I got to the lake today, I'm not gonna lie, I was like not prepared. This lake is normally crystal clear, lots of grass, lots of mats. And when I rolled up to the ramp and saw the current ripping, the lake down about 3 feet, and chocolate milk, I was like, definitely not set up for today. You know, I could have used a chatterbait, a spinnerbait, but didn't have any of that stuff in the boat. So I went with that underspin, you know, that flash and vibration. Got that one big one right off the bat. That was between 5 and 6 pounds. That was a healthy bit of fish. Had a couple missed opportunities, reeling that thing up and over the grass and dropping it. I broke 2 off, and that's why I decided to go from 12 pound. I went all the way up to 20, and that's when I caught that big one and caught those other ones. But when you're fishing around grass and those fish are active, heck, I'm throwing straight 40-pound braid on this jerkbait. I will say, I was throwing this reel a ton today. This is the Xenon Abu Garcia MGLTX. This thing can send a weightless jerkbait a long ways, and that was really cool. Really impressed with that reel. But again, it's just all about keeping an open mind, right? I could have just put the boat back on the trailer and said, oh, today's, you know, not my day. But stuck it out, ran down, found some cleaner water, and then kind of put that puzzle together. But normally when the fish, just one of those days with the cameras, normally when they're pulling this much current, you know, we're on the Tennessee River, and there's a lot of water movement, and the fish will sit on the outside grass line. But today that was logs and trash and junk, like just tons of grass and branches and all sorts of stuff, and chocolate milk. and just wasn't prepared to fish that with the stuff I had today. So went inside the grass line and found cleaner water, and that's what worked for me today. But you can see they're still chasing bait in the back of this pocket. Let's see if I can get one on this little jerk bait real quick. Again, a lot of them are really, really small, but if you can get them fired up, and the big ones will start eating. So all in all, a great day. You know, again, those tips I told you earlier, make sure that you're being stealthy. You know, especially when they've dropped this lake 3 feet or so. Looks like it's come down even more today since I've been here. But the fish get really finicky, so you got to be super stealthy up shallow. Turn your trolling motor down as low as you possibly can. Turn all of your sonar pinging off. You know, I turned all that off. The only thing I ran today was my map. I had my map on, so if I did find a nice healthy grass clump, I'd waypoint it, or if I did catch a fish or get bit, I waypointed that way I could circle back on it. But again, all in all, another great day out on the water. It is a hot one. I think it was like low to mid 90s today, and had some thunderstorms roll around, never over me, but it definitely got humid. So drink lots of water, stayed cool, so cool. You guys don't see me fishing in pants very often. These new pants by AFCO are by far my favorite. I'll link those down below in the video description. Super lightweight, stretchy, and kept me cool all day. I normally fish in shorts and a sun shirt and flip-flops, but today went bust out the pants, and I'm glad I did, because it was a hot one today. All right, enough rambling. Guys, as always, we appreciate the support. I'll link the baits I used today down below in the video description, the gear I used. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you learned something from this video, or you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys on the next video.